Stephen, how about you? For you, have things changed? Is there a pivot going on? What have you learned coming out of this, or does it feel like business somewhat as normal as far as your supply chain goes?
Yeah, operating in the secondhand space and buying from private collectors and charities across the United States, a lot of those shut down. So our supply, our as a company, our job is to figure out what to do with the post-consumer textiles that are surplus to charities and thrift stores. As they shut down, there was obviously a lack of supply, but then because they had shut down, there was a lot of raw material available that had not gone through thrift stores. So that we refer to them as credentials. So a lot of private collectors kept picking up product. So the really fun thing, and I kind of to ThreadUp's point, this is at times like this is when innovators innovate. So because of the work that we had done with Converse, we'd invested a lot in equipment to sanitize post-consumer textiles to a certain grade. And that allowed us to pivot our factory to start making masks, which we did from post-consumer textiles. I mean, one of the unwritten stories I think out of this was there's a lot of throwaway product being generated right now out of this situation. But we wanted to could we take the assets in front of us? As a company, we've sort of focused of, can we solve world problems using post-consumer textiles from secondhand clothes? And because we had the investment of the sanitization equipment, we started making masks. And frankly, we just gave them away in India to where our factory is. So it's about and trying to get that. It was an interesting process during COVID to be able to get permission to have the factory open, because India had staunch lockdown procedures. So it was what could we do to get to help with the situation, used as frankly a tool for the better. But kind of looking a little bit commercially, what was amazing to us is our e-commerce sales have doubled and if not tripled, so that our European customers have turned to e-commerce to as an offering. So beyondretro.com, our sales have been really strong online, like amazingly. But on a longer term, on some of our projects, there's been a lot of conversations about brands canceling forward orders, and I can proudly say that the brands that we're working with have actually really walked us through this process and have doubled down on their commitment to sustainable projects. And a really good example is we do upcycling for Urban Outfitters in the UK and in the US. And they've reached out and said, look, we had orders in the pipe. We really want those as soon as you can get them. And as soon as you can get factory back online, we want to continue with those orders. And the same could be said for the other brands we're working for. And a good example is the Renew Cell project. We've had conversations through them. And somehow I think it's incredibly comforting that our enthusiasm pre-COVID for these innovations are carrying through past COVID. So, I mean, obviously, and the other immediate, of course, is that we're getting a lot of phone calls from brands saying, we have a lot of overstock. Do you have any suggestions of what we can do with them? And being a company that finds home for products, repairs products, and upcycles products, we're in kind of a unique space to offer some solutions to brands that are really kind of swimming in product. That's sort of the immediate. What do we do right away? What's sort of the business impact, and then kind of the near future to us, frankly, looks really encouraging.